Hello friends, in this video we will analyze this year's JIPMAT. JIPMAT happens for IIM Bodh Gaya and IIM Jammu, and people who aspire to do IPM from these colleges take this exam. This year, in this exam there were 100 questions and total 150 minutes were given to solve these questions. The marking pattern was +4 -1, that is, you will get 4 marks for answering a question correctly, and they will deduct 1 mark if you answer a question incorrectly. There were 3 sections. The first section was quantitative aptitude, that is mathematics. There were 33 questions based on this. The second section was logical reasoning, and there were 33 questions based on this section also. The third section was verbal ability, and there were 34 questions based on this section. Let's discuss section-wise analysis. The first section was QA. In this section, they asked 33 questions, as I told earlier. The difficulty level was moderate, although it was a notch tougher than last year's test. So, we expect that the cutoff will go down, especially because of QA. The areas were, the first area was, a lot of questions were from arithmetic, questions from time, speed and distance, walk and time, averages, profit and loss, compound interest, boats and stream. They asked 3 to 4 questions from geometry, largely from mensuration. So, question where you have to find surface area or the length of a well, such questions were there, largely from mensuration. The third area was number system, and 6 to 7 questions were asked from this side. Last year's JIPMAT was largely arithmetic, but this time there were a lot of questions were from number systems and algebra. Questions like you have to find the unit digit, you have to find number of solutions of equations, remainders, amicable numbers and all were there. There were 3 to 4 questions from algebra, questions based on graph-based function, surds and indices, linear equation. Then there were 4 to 5 questions from PNC and probability, largely from probability. 1 odd question was from PNC, otherwise all the questions were from probability, and they were not that tricky. There were questions from trigonometry also, statistics also. So because of these areas like trigonometry, statistics, PNC, the section became a bit not tougher. Many of the questions were of the variety wherein they have given some statements, and based on that they were asking whether you can conclude from this statement. For example, they have given 2-3 equations, and then whether you can conclude that there will be a single solution from these equations or not. So such questions were asked. Although those questions were from arithmetic, geometry, number systems, but the pattern was such. It was not all a difficult pattern, easy to do. A good attempts will be 29 to 30 questions. The second section were logical reasoning. There were 3 cases from, if I talk about the section first, the difficulty level was moderate, it was calculation heavy and a bit lengthy. Areas, data interpretation, there were 3 sets. One set was having 4 to 5 questions, other sets were 2 to 3 questions. One of the sets was on percentages, so you have to know percentages well if you were to attempt that particular set. There were 3 to 2 questions from data sufficiency, fairly easy. There were arrangement based questions, and these questions made this section lengthy. Why? Because there was a set and there was only 1 question based on that set. Normally what happens is you have to arrange, or let's say you have to rank people, first rank, second rank, third rank, and there were 2 to 3 questions, but there was only 1 question. So because of that, this particular section became a bit lengthy. There were questions from coding, decoding, series, direction sense, blood relation, and even clocks and calendars. And there were 3 to 4 questions from clocks and calendars. The students who were not well versed with clocks and calendars will find this section a bit tough. A good attempt will be 29 to 30 questions. The third section was verbal ability and very easy. It was fairly easy. Areas: reading comprehension, there was one RC with 5 to 6 questions and there were 2 RCs with 1 question each. So only 7 to 8 questions from reading comprehension. And the passages were easy to read, also small. A lot of weightage was there on vocabulary. There were 5 to 6 questions based on synonyms and antonyms, 1 or 2 questions based on analogy, phrasal verbs, 2-3 questions, idioms and phrases, 2-3 questions, and there were 2-3 questions on spellings also. So a lot of weightage was there on vocabulary. Similarly, many questions were from grammar, that is English usage. Active, passive, direct, indirect, error detections were the areas. Apart from that, there were questions from paralegals. These questions were fairly easy because the sentences were very small, and thus the questions became quite easy. A good attempt will be 32 to 33 questions. Overall, if you have attempted 88 to 90 questions with a 90% accuracy, believe me, you have done a very good job. Don't expect to attempt all the questions. A good attempt of 88 to 90 with a good accuracy will sail you through. A score of 300 plus should get you a call from these colleges. So this is from JIPMAT analysis. All the best for all your upcoming exams.